Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Welcome to this week's top stock picks. My pick is Nova Measuring Instruments, NVMI. Okay, you all know about Nvidia and the AI revolution. Here today, Tuesday, May 30th, Nvidia spiking again to new highs. At one point, it was up over 7%, and it is crossed the vaulted threshold of 1 trillion in market cap. We've owned it since for our most recent trade. We bought it in October at $125. So we're up over 200% for my taser traders, and have not seen any reason to let it go. In fact, in March, I recommended it again. In mid-March, say, like I was saying, you could buy it up to 275 easily. And one of the places I did that for the public was I wrote this report, Chat GPT, 5 stocks for the predicted 15.7 trillion AI boom. And you can get a copy of that report if you're not a Zacks Ultimate member. Just email ultimate@zacks.com and tell them Cooker sent you. We have a lot of special reports there, but you want to check out the AI boom one and what Chat GPT means. I mean, like, I was already a huge Nvidia AI fan, but Chat GPT obviously accelerated the boom for everyone. So what is going on here? So last week, I'm going to give you a small stock here that I think has a lot of potential. But first, I just want to give you the big picture. Last week, I was looking for more semiconductors to buy, and everything had run so hard. AMD, Micron, the wafer fabrication equipment makers like Lam Research and Applied Materials, the laser etching from ASML, Avago, Broadcom now, but it's still got the symbol AVGO. All these stocks had run so hard, I couldn't figure out what to buy. I didn't want to chase things 20, 30% higher. So you know what I found? I found a little diamond in the rough. And that's Qualcomm had just made basically a new 52-week low in the middle of last week. As Nvidia is soaring, Qualcomm is down for the count. So we bought Qualcomm last week, and enjoying those gains. Another gap up this morning here. And the other company I bought was Nova Manufacturing. Nova Measuring Instruments was the old name, NVMI. So the company just goes by the name Nova right now. They changed, they modified their name. They're just Nova Limited, based in Israel. But it helps to remember it by its old name, Nova Measuring Instruments, because that's what they do. They facilitate semiconductor manufacture. And if you know anything about semiconductor manufacture, it needs to be a very precise and very clean set of processes. And so Nova specializes in what's called metrology. Metrology is just the science of measurement, but applied to semiconductors, it's extremely high tech. How you create the manufacturing facilities and processes for semiconductors. Again, think about precision and purity, right? I use the word clean, but it's really about purity, having no dust or any interference in semiconductor manufacture. And the other thing we'll talk about is, going into the nano world, sub 10 nanometers. So let's take a look at some of the fundamentals for Nova. NVMI stands for Nova Measuring Instruments, and we still have the old name up here, but again, they just call themselves Nova. It's a Zacks #1 rank. It's about a 3.2 billion market cap. And let's just take a look at the detailed earnings estimates page, so you can see, projected. Obviously, a lot of technology and chip companies are having an off year, so to speak, as the cycle rebounds. They've seen their cycle lows. So revenue for this year down 13%, but bouncing back strong, over 20% growth next year projected to over 600 million, which means the company trades at 5 times sales. Not egregious by any measure for high tech, and earnings will also bounce back. So I want to show you some of their metrology solutions, and so we're just going to go right to the website. This is pretty complex stuff when it comes to manufacture of semiconductors, and they have on their homepage here they explain dimensional metrology with basically you're talking about optomechanical measuring, with light and lasers and to get that precision, and they have 4 different levels of analysis that they talk about here with materials, chemicals, and they have to have software. This is obviously, these high-tech companies are not just about the hardware, but about the software they're using. And the other company, speaking of software, we also own Cadence Design Systems, which is Nvidia is a big customer of Cadence. Cadence is the software to actually design chips. And so now we have a company here, Nova, that's involved in the manufacturing process, but also using advanced software to help companies get the job done with imaging. All right. So I was curious, how, when you think of Nova, how important are they for the world of going into sub 10 nanometers for semiconductor manufacture? And so I just went, I thought, well, I'll search nanometer. Nanometer is the scientific measurement for a billionth of a meter. And it's important because, that's where we're going, is we're now, Nvidia is contracting Taiwan Semiconductor, one of the big foundries, one of the big fab plants, to make chips, to make 3 nanometer chips. That's how small we're going right now. So and the search results for nanometer was kind of fun on the Nova site. I found 3 interesting articles, which I want to refer you to. These are really broad, evergreen educational pieces. Here's one from how computer chips are made, from beach sand to semiconductors. And then this is a really good one. It's not highly technical. It's only a 4-minute read from last summer on how they use algorithms and machine learning, the software behind creating chips, just like Cadence and Synopsys. And and then more specifically with nanometers, they interviewed a young scientist who became a semiconductor engineer, and her passion for the nano world. So that's interesting. I'm a big fan of young girls learning science and math and broadening their horizons. So if you have a daughter or granddaughter in your life who's inclined to math, show her this article. All right, so the one of the nice things here. So here we have this breakout in Nova, and this is why I bought it last week, because getting above this 105 level, let's see how significant that is, and the 110 level, will back out to a weekly chart just to take a look at where Nova's been. So this 110 level, this is May of 22 into June, and then August of 22, double top at 110. We've gotten through there. Let's see if it can hold. And if it does, it'll challenge 120 pretty quickly. So I would be a buyer of all dips under 110 in Nova, and looking for that move higher. This is a small company. They don't have big contracts from the big semi manufacturers, but they could be on the radar of Applied Materials or a KLA Tencor, and I think with the sophistication level of their technology and their science, that this will be a key partner going forward. So this is one way, in addition to Qualcomm, that I added last week to play the AI semiconductor surge that we're seeing now. All right, that is most of what you need to know about Nova. Check out those links, go to their site, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks for joining me in learning about the AI revolution and the contribution of Nova measuring instruments. Next up is Nina with her top pick.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm Neena Mishra, and my top pick today is ServiceNow, ticker symbol NOW. ServiceNow, as you know, is a provider of enterprise cloud computing solutions. Their platform helps companies organize and automate their personal customer service and IT operation. So obviously, the company has been benefiting from rising adoption of workflows by enterprises, and digital transformation is accelerating. More companies are shifting their operations to cloud. So all those trends are benefiting this company because these are less discretionary in nature. So companies cannot afford to not invest in these kind of services. And that is the main reason why this company committed this year to no job cuts, unlike many other technology companies which have announced mass layoffs. Now, recent results were much better than expected, and the guidance was also ahead of street consensus. So that is why the analysts have been raising their estimates for this company. Let's take a look at some charts by going to the quote page on Zacks.com. So this is currently a Zacks ranked number 1, strong by stock, F for value. It is not cheap. And as you can see from the chart, it has done quite well this year also. But A for growth, F for momentum. So those don't look so good, but investors are willing to pay those kind of multiples. You will see that it's currently trading at a forward PE of 56. So why investors are willing to pay for those kind of multiples? So as I mentioned, the company reported excellent results, beating on the top and bottom lines, and guidance was also ahead of estimates. So that is the reason why analysts have been raising their estimates for the current year and next year. And you can see that estimates have gone up significantly since the company reported results. Now, looking at the expected year-over-year growth, you will see more than 20% year-over-year growth estimated for sales, as 26% for earnings. So that is the reason why investors who are looking for growth are willing to pay for these kind of multiples, those kind of valuations for the company. Now, looking at the longer term price consensus and EPS surprise chart, that also looks very good. All green arrows. The company has not missed even once in the past 5 years. And another thing I would like to mention, that the company recently partnered with Microsoft as well as Nvidia to offer generative AI related products and enhancements to its customers, and that is another reason. And due to the Zacks rank number 1, the stock is worth a look. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out zacks.com/promo for an interesting offer. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube video channel so that you do not miss anything. And we will see you next week.